just because we get it. It's gonna be alright. 'Cause
Some songs get played on the radio. Some songs get banned from the radio. And then there are the songs that didn't just get banned. They got protested, pulled from shelves, debated in Parliament, and blamed for the downfall of civilization itself. The 1970s was the most explosive decade in music history. Rock got louder, punk got angrier, disco got wilder.
my heart's on fire.
And the people in charge? They were absolutely terrified. Today, we're counting down 20 songs that caused genuine outrage, real controversy, real consequences, and real stories behind the music. Some of these you know. Some might surprise you. And at least one will make you laugh out loud that anyone took it seriously. Let's get into it.
Try to put us to down. Talking about my generation. Just
My Generation, The Who. We start with a classic that kept causing trouble long after it was first released. My Generation originally came out in 1965. But The Who kept performing it into the 1970s, and every time they did, the energy in the room became something else entirely.
dig what we all say. My generation. I'm not trying to.
This was a song literally about young people not wanting to be understood by older generations. It was rebellious by design. Pete Townshend's smashing guitars on stage made it even more explosive. Critics and parents called it a celebration of nihilism. Fans called it the greatest rock statement ever made. Either way, it worked.
Kodachrome, give us those nights.
Kodachrome, Paul Simon. Paul Simon. Soft voice. Thoughtful lyrics. Controversial? Absolutely. Kodachrome got banned by the BBC almost immediately.
I think back on all the crap I learned in high school.
Why? Because it was the brand name of a Kodak film product, and the BBC had a strict policy against advertising in songs. But here's the twist. Simon wasn't even trying to advertise anything. He used the word as a metaphor for color, memory, and nostalgia.
Said black and white. Kodachrome.
Didn't matter. Banned. The song became a huge hit in America anyway. And the controversy just made people more curious about it. Sometimes the best promotion is a ban.
If you took all the girls I knew when I was single.
Some girls give me money. Some girls buy me clothes.
Some girls, the Rolling Stones. The Stones were never exactly shy about being provocative. But some girls, both the song and the album, went further than most people expected. The lyrics made sweeping, offensive generalizations about women of different races. It was crass, crude, and deliberately so. Reverend Jesse Jackson publicly called for a boycott of the album. Several prominent figures demanded the record be pulled from stores. The Stones edited some content for later pressings, which was rare for them. But the album still sold millions. And the controversy cemented the Stones' reputation as rock's most dangerous band.
Let's go back to Super Beat. I give you half of what I owe. Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, the Beatles. By the time this song got reissued in the 1970s, everyone already had a theory.
Ties. Suddenly someone
LSD, the initials of the title, a drug reference hiding in plain sight. John Lennon denied it for the rest of his life.
in her rocking horse. People eat marshmallow pie.
He said the title came from a drawing his young son Julian made at school, a picture of his classmate Lucy, floating in a sky full of diamonds.
So incredibly high.
But the imagery in the song, The kaleidoscope eyes, the rocking horse people, the newspaper taxis. People weren't buying the innocent explanation. Radio stations debated playing it. Parents' groups circulated warnings. The Beatles maintained their innocence. The controversy maintained its life. Here's the one that'll make you laugh. Chuck Berry, a genuine rock and roll legend, had his biggest ever chart hit with a song about a toy bell, a childhood toy, a little ding-a-ling on a string.
Me playing with my ding-a-ling-a-ling,
Or so he claimed. The double meaning was so obvious that radio hosts couldn't stop giggling. Moral crusader Mary Whitehouse in the UK launched a public campaign to have it banned. She called it obscene and unsuitable for broadcast. The BBC considered pulling it. Chuck Berry just sat back and watched it climb to #1 on both sides of the Atlantic. It remains one of the greatest examples of the establishment banning something that only made it more popular.
was swimming across Turtle Creek. Man, them snappers on.
All the young girls of Alice.
15. All the young girls love Alice, Elton John. In 1973, openly discussing LGBTQ+ themes in mainstream pop music was a radical act.
Check with Jeff Dixie. Hey, hey, hey.
Elton John did it anyway. This track from the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road album told the story of a teenage girl living on the streets who becomes involved with older women.
Hey, wait till my husband's away.
It was frank, sympathetic, and completely unlike anything else on the radio. Radio programmers were uncomfortable. Some stations refused to play it.
Alice, stay safe. Come on.
But Elton was at the peak of his powers, and the album sold regardless. Looking back, it's recognized as a surprisingly courageous piece of work for its time.
If I give you my number, will you promise? Short people got no reason. Short people.
14. Short People, Randy Newman. Randy Newman is a satirist. He writes from the perspective of characters he doesn't agree with. That's his whole thing. Apparently, a lot of people missed that memo.
Don't want no short people. Don't want no.
Short People was meant to be absurdist comedy, a satire of prejudice and small-mindedness, told through the ridiculous voice of someone who hates short people. Instead, people took it completely literally. Short people across America were furious. Advocacy groups protested.
Little hand, little eye, to walk around.
Some radio stations in certain states actually banned it. Maryland's state legislature considered passing a bill condemning the song. Newman was baffled. The song was mocking bigots, not endorsing them. It hit #2 on the Billboard charts. Newman has never quite lived it down.
Here is you and I. It's a wonderful world. Don't get fooled again.
13. Won't Get Fooled Again, The Who. The Who made this list twice, and for good reason. Won't Get Fooled Again is a deeply cynical song about political revolution. Specifically, the idea that revolution never actually changes anything. New boss. Same as the old boss. Conservatives loved it because they thought it was anti-left. The left hated it for the same reason. Progressives felt betrayed by Pete Townsend. Townsend insisted it wasn't about taking sides. It was about the inevitable failure of all political movements. Nobody was satisfied. Everyone was talking about it. That's the mark of a truly controversial song. It upsets everyone at once.
Tonight's the night.
12. Tonight's the Night, Rod Stewart. Rod Stewart described this song himself as being about the seduction of a young woman, and he didn't shy away from the details. Radio stations across the US and UK were deeply uncomfortable.
Upstairs before the night's too old.
The BBC added it to a list of records requiring special consideration before broadcast. American radio programmers debated whether the themes were appropriate for daytime listening. Despite all of that, or because of it, the song spent 8 weeks at #1 in the United States. It was the biggest hit of Rod Stewart's career at that point. Controversy, once again, proving to be the most powerful marketing tool in music.
Mon Dieu, qu'est-ce qu'il va dire, maman?
1984, David Bowie. George Orwell's estate said no. Bowie wanted to create a full musical based on Orwell's dystopian novel, 1984. Orwell's widow, Sonia, refused to grant the rights. So Bowie did the next best thing. He made the album Diamond Dogs and used Orwellian imagery throughout, including this track, which painted a bleak, cinematic picture of a surveillance state and a crumbling society. The estate was reportedly furious. The album was celebrated as one of Bowie's masterpieces, and the song remains a chilling piece of music, a warning dressed up as glam rock. 10. Radio Radio, Elvis Costello and the Attractions. This one has a legendary story. Elvis Costello was booked to perform Less Than Zero on Saturday Night Live. Live television. America watching. He stopped the band after a few bars, turned to the audience, and said they had to do something different. Then they launched into Radio Radio, a song that directly attacked the commercialization of radio and the music industry's control over what people were allowed to hear. NBC was furious. Costello was reportedly banned from the show for years. The moment became one of the most talked about in SNL history. The song became a statement, and Costello became a hero to anyone who felt the music industry was dishonest. 9. School's Out, Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper understood that rock and roll was theater, and School's Out was pure theatrical rebellion, every bored, frustrated student's fantasy anthem. The song was one thing. The live show was another. Cooper brought snakes, guillotines, fake executions, and chaos to the stage.
And we got no principles.
Parents were horrified. Religious groups called for bans on his concerts. Some venues refused to host him. Schools reportedly suspended students for playing the song on school grounds. None of it stopped the song from becoming a genuine cultural touchstone. 50 years later, it still plays every June when school lets out.
We can't even think of a word that rhymes. Good God, y'all.
8. War, Edwin Starr. Released at the height of the Vietnam War, War was one of the most direct anti-war statements ever put on record. It was raw, passionate, and furious. Motown was initially nervous about releasing it. They worried about alienating audiences and radio stations.
Listen to me.
The label had originally recorded a version by The Temptations, but held it back for the same reason. Edwin Starr's version was released because of fan demand, and it went straight to #1. Some radio stations in more conservative markets refused to play it. Military families were divided. Some felt it dishonored their sacrifice. Others felt it validated their doubts. Either way, it became the defining protest song of an era.
Listen to me. It ain't nothing but a heartbreaker.
Your house, 'cause now I've got the pill.
7. The Pill, Loretta Lynn. Country music in 1975 was not ready for this conversation. Loretta Lynn had already made a name for herself, writing songs about real women's lives.
The baiter is overused because you've kept it filled.
The hard parts, the honest parts. But The Pill went somewhere no mainstream country song had gone before. It was about a married woman celebrating her access to birth control.
You set this chicken your last time. 'Cause
It was about freedom,
Bodily autonomy. Choice.
country radio stations refused to play it. Dozens of them. Some called it immoral. Others said it was simply too controversial for their audiences.
I'm tired of all your
Loretta Lynn performed it anyway. The song became a quiet feminist rallying cry. Today, it's considered one of the most important songs in country music history. At the time, it was considered scandalous.
burn down your brooder house. 'Cause now I've got the pill.
Imagine there's no heaven.
6. Imagine John Lennon. You might be surprised to see this one on the list. Imagine is one of the best-known songs ever recorded. It gets played at vigils, memorials, and peace rallies around the world.
Imagine all the people.
But when it was released in 1971, it made powerful enemies. The song imagines a world with no countries, no religion, and no possessions.
I wonder if we can.
Religious organizations were deeply offended. Some called it atheist propaganda. Conservative commentators called it dangerous utopian thinking. The FBI, which had already been monitoring Lennon due to his activism, noted the song's themes.
Living for today.
In certain countries, it was restricted or banned outright. It didn't matter. The song transcended all of it, and Lennon knew it would.
Wrong voice, she said Lola. L-O-L-A.
5. Lola, the Kinks. The BBC band Lola, but not for the reason you might think. The song deals with a man who falls for someone who turns out to be a transgender woman. And handles it with surprising warmth and confusion. For 1970, that was genuinely groundbreaking. But the BBC's ban had nothing to do with the content. They banned it because Ray Davies had mentioned Coca-Cola by name. Another advertising policy violation, just like Paul Simon's Kodachrome. Davies flew back from a US tour to re-record the line. The BBC then played it. The gender themes, meanwhile, were discussed endlessly. Some praised the song's openness. Others were uncomfortable with it. It remains one of the most quietly progressive songs of the entire decade. Disco was supposed to be fun and escapist. Donna's Summer made it something more, and it shocked a lot of people. This track featured Summer making sounds that left absolutely nothing to the imagination over a 17-minute extended version. It was sensual in a way that mainstream radio had never encountered quite so directly. The BBC banned it immediately. In America, radio stations could only play the edited single version.
When you're laying so close to me, there's no place I'd rather you be than.
And even that made some programmers nervous. Religious groups called for boycotts. Some stores refused to stock it. Donna Summer became a superstar anyway. The song helped define an era, and the controversy showed just how powerful and threatening female pleasure could be as a mainstream topic.
Hey babe, take a walk on the wild side. Said hey.
3. Walk on the Wild Side, Lou Reed. Here is one of the great mysteries of rock history. Walk on the Wild Side is a song that openly references transgender women.
USA plucked her eyebrows on the way.
Male sex workers, and drug use. It got played constantly on mainstream radio. In 1972, why didn't it get banned? Some say radio programmers simply didn't understand the references.
Jack.
Some say Lou Reed's deadpan delivery made it sound casual enough to slip through. Some say RCA Records had enough clout to keep it on air. Whatever the reason, it snuck past the gatekeepers.
Candy came from out on the island
And became one of the most important songs ever recorded about people who lived on the margins of society. When people eventually understood every line of it, the conversation shifted from should this be banned to how did this ever get played? Two, Brown Sugar, The Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones appear twice on this list, and this entry is the heavier one. Brown Sugar is one of the most successful rock singles ever recorded. It's also one of the most criticized. The lyrics contain explicit references to slavery and sexual violence, delivered over one of the greatest guitar riffs in history. Almost as if the contrast itself was the point. Keith Richards later admitted he couldn't believe they recorded it. Mick Jagger said he would never write something like it today. It wasn't banned. It wasn't protested in any organized way at the time, perhaps because the subjects it touched on weren't being centered the way they are now. But its legacy has grown increasingly complicated. In 2021, the Stones quietly stopped playing it live. The conversation about this song is far from over. 1. God Save the Queen, Sex Pistols. Nothing else could be number 1. The Sex Pistols released this song during Queen Elizabeth II's Silver Jubilee, the nationwide celebration of her 25 years on the throne. The song called the monarchy a fascist regime. It called Britain a land with no future. It was furious, sneering, and completely unafraid. The BBC refused to play it. The Independent Broadcasting Authority banned it from commercial radio. Record stores had copies stolen and destroyed by people who found it offensive. It was officially kept off the number 1 spot by the chart. A decision that many people, including music journalists and chart historians, believe was deliberately manipulated to prevent a song attacking the Queen from topping the charts during Jubilee Week. The band performed it on a boat on the River Thames. They were arrested. Manager Malcolm McLaren was attacked in the street. Band members were assaulted by people who recognized them. This wasn't just a controversial song. It was a cultural detonation. Punk had arrived, and the establishment had no idea how to handle it. 50 years later, God Save the Queen by the Sex Pistols remains one of the most important 3 minutes of recorded sound in history. And there you have it. 20 songs. 20 moments where music stopped being background noise and became something that actually scared people in power. What's striking, looking back, is how often the people trying to ban these songs made them more famous. Every protest, every BBC ban, every angry letter to a radio station, it all just made people more curious. Music has always done this. It pushes at the edges of what a society is willing to say out loud. And the songs that get punished are almost always the ones that were telling some kind of truth. So, which one surprised you the most? Was it Walk on the Wild Side, somehow getting airplay? Randy Newman being taken literally? Or Loretta Lynn going toe-to-toe with country radio and winning? Let me know in the comments. I genuinely want to know. And if you made it this far, thank you. It means a lot. Hit that subscribe button if you want more deep dives like this one. We cover the stories behind the music, the stuff that doesn't make it onto the greatest hits albums but absolutely should. See you in the next one.